And then we'll go back to Coach Oak after.
Obviously, it's great to start the season with a win. It's great to win. That's why you compete and why you work so hard. All right. So, for us, it was great to get out there, having another opponent, a little different colored jersey and all that kind of stuff. And really, I thought we came out. I think our guys had understand it, and we talked about this being a celebration tonight, a celebration for all the work they've done since January. In the morning with Coach Hall and the weight room, and so we wanted to have a celebration. And when you work as hard as these guys do, it's great to see them win. It's great to see them play well. It's not as fun when they don't play well. And it's not as fun as we got to do a little better job coaching. Because, last year, there were 3 games that we got beat because we didn't finish. And that's one of the things we've talked about. We have to finish everything we're doing. And so we did finish, which is a positive. I don't know if I like the way we finished, but we got a big week ahead of us and another opponent. And, we're going to get out there and go to work.
Thank you, Coach. Any questions from the players?
Mark, on the last play of the first half, the first touchdown, there were 6 seconds left. Was that meant to be more of a quick hitting play so you'd have time left over for a field goal, or was your play the intended play?
No, it actually wasn't. Jalen started off making his read from the boundary, I believe it was, and then came back across and him being able to step up in there and having the O-line give him time, and everything just worked out, so we were able to get it. Obviously, it didn't work the first time, but we came back around, and everyone worked it out, and we were able to put 6 on the board.
Mark, staying with that same kind of idea, there's going to be questions for your head coach about some decisions that he made to have confidence in your offense to stay out on the field. What does it mean to you when your head coach shows that confidence in you?
I love that. I mean, again, even in the 4th down play late there that we didn't get, that's definitely one we have to get, but Coach Oak always has our back, offense or defensive side, so he's going to have our back, we're going to have his, and we're just going to execute to the best of our ability.
Sdsu, question for you. You obviously get that huge play where the interception comes all the way back, and then they bring it back for the late hit. And how hard is that to kind of turn the page and then have to go line up again, and then obviously have to stop them with a minute left? And just those were minutes.
No, yeah, Marcus made a great play, but I know you said hard, but I feel as though Coach Hope put us in that situation during scrimmages in fall camp. It's situational. We'll make a play on defense, and then we think we're off, but then he'll say, you know what, one's back up again. So, it's something that we prepare for. So right when that happened, we knew that we're not going to have all the calls going our way and stuff like that. So we knew we had to line up and just stop them again.
Ohio was top 10 last year in turnover margin. You guys won that 3-1 today. You had an interception. Talk us through what your interception looked like.
First off, with the turnover margin, Coach Hope made that a big emphasis. That's why they were very good. They made it to the championship and all that. And hats off to them. They played a physical game. They were still in the game and stuff like that. 7 did go down, and 10 and came up, into the game and still, held it down for them. But going back to that, I felt as though it was just a great play call. Coach Maddox always puts us in the best position to, succeed and stuff like that. And that's just kind of what happened. So he puts us in the position, and we just have to make the plays.
Hey, Mark, that drive, you scored the touchdown. Galen was 7 for 7. You caught 3 passes. What happened there, the confidence level? Talk about what was in the huddle and what happened during that drive that made it so successful.
Yeah, we just came out after the first half, and a couple guys talked in that locker room, and we knew that we really needed to change it around because our defense was doing what they did, and they held them to 13 points, and that's something that we pride ourselves in. But we wanted to show that the offense can do what they're supposed to do as well. So we were able to just go down there, and people stepped up and made some good plays, and it just ended up in a touchdown. And that's, as long as we can do that every drive, that's great for us.
Said, how much did you guys prepare for C.J. Harris? Obviously, they didn't know how long his knee would hold up, how that would be, even if he would play. Were you able to game plan at all for him, or was that just something that you had to kind of do?
Well, when you look at the tape from last year, I honestly think they're kind of similar quarterbacks in a way. People will know that Seven can throw the ball and stuff like that, but he's actually athletic as well. So, I mean, he runs the speed options for them as well. And, 10 did play a great amount of games at the end of the season, and he took them to the championship and then, was the MVP of the bowl game and stuff like that. So I felt as though we was able to game plan for both of them. They kind of had the same plan, I feel as though, with both of them coming into the game. So I felt as though we was ready for both quarterbacks.
Mark, on your touchdowns, are you just looking for a hole to kind of sit there, or how is that supposed to develop?
Yeah, I mean, we have some plays that are designed to hit that. One of them just felt the space and kind of worked to it. And, I mean, just through the past year and a half or year with Moose now, and made a great connection. So, but again, I mean, it goes back to it wasn't even a first read on one of them, and Moose was able to get through his progression and be able to do what he does. So hats off to the O-line for stepping up on those plays and being able to deliver that.
What's it mean for you you had 2 catches for touchdowns last year the whole season. What's it mean for you to start off this way this year?
It's humbling. I mean, it's awesome. I'd love to see it get out to the receivers more, just be able to spread the rock around. Obviously, we were kind of run heavy, I think, today. But it's just something that we're going to do, and we're going to spread the rock around and get everyone some touches.
Anything else for the student athletes? All right, thanks, guys.
Was very lopsided. I think it was 27-13 in the first 40 minutes. Your offense had 2 6-minute drives. Was there anything specific that changed in those 2 drives?
No, the first half, we didn't tackle anybody. I mean, they ran the ball up and down the field on us, and we never tackled anybody. And that, when you don't stop the run, you let them be two-dimensional. And so the play-action game, throwing the football, and they have good players. And I'll give, they're a good football team. They're a physical football team. I don't think we played physical. I didn't think we played well enough defensively in the first half. And there's a lot that we need to get fixed before Idaho State.
On the 4th and 2 play, you called a timeout. Was that more to get Jalen Armstead ready because he had come out? I think he got hit in the head.
No, I was thinking a little bit about what, where we were to go for it, not to, obviously. And then, it had been a 7-point game. I wasn't feeling great about our defense, and they know that because I told them that, and we got work to do.
With 6 seconds left in the first half, what's the thought process on whether to go for it or settle for a field goal?
I'm more inclined to go for it. I think at times, when you do that, you are letting your offense know that you believe in them. And at the same time, you also let your defense know that you believe in them and that they got your back. So I always liked, when I was a player a long time ago, when we would go for it.
Coach, you mentioned defense not playing well in the first half. There were a lot of subs coming in of the second half, especially the secondary. Was that by design? Did you guys decide that ahead of time, just camp competition, how camp played out, or was it because they weren't tackling as well?
I would say a little bit. We got a couple guys dinged up, and I don't know how they are yet. I don't think there's anybody who has a lot, that would keep them from playing. But we needed to put some other guys in. We needed, and I can speak as much as anything up front. We rotated quite a few guys through there, and that's going to be who we are. We don't have those 3 guys who were pretty dominant a year ago. And, the guys we do have are relatively new. Tupu's new to the program, in the spring. So, games are a little different than practice. So it's just trying to get those guys as many reps as we could.
You'd like to talk about guys that you can feel on defense. Were there a couple players that you could feel them?
Yeah, Cody Moon, good and bad, but he's a good football player. He's a tough guy. We got to be a little more disciplined on, you know, the hit on the quarterback, on the interception, but, you know, I felt him probably as much as anybody. I think Ratcliffe is, I think he's going to be a really good football player at San Diego State. We got to keep him here.
The offense, are you glass half full with some of the struggles?
I'm sorry.
In the offense, are you glass half empty with some of the struggles, or glass half full with the 2 touchdowns?
Tonight, I'm going to be excited. So I guess I'm going to be the second of the two things. So, but, yeah, it was, you know, when Moose got on track, you know, the offensive line was a little better. Armstead made some runs that are his kind of runs and got a little dinged up, but then he came back. And I was more excited that then he came back because we lost him a year ago, a little earlier, that, you know, hurt us as a team because of the kind of runner he is.
Playing week 0, you know, like 7 games or something like that. Do you like getting one out of the way early so you can get a little jump start on somebody, or is that just give somebody else extra to take a look at you?
Well, it's a good question. I would say the biggest thing is, you know, in fact, JD, when he called and said, hey, we may be week 0 against Ohio University, I know it was going to be a good opponent and somebody that, you know, and I do have I love the MAC conference for various reasons, but they're a physical football team. They're well coached. And, you know, we got 2 byes now, which is time to, especially in the middle of your season, to get some guys rested up, you know, but I know we're going to play the schedule. Whatever they give us, we're going to play.
Coach, you mentioned Armstead. He obviously had a fumble early and was able to bounce back. I mean, you're obviously a mentor. What do you appreciate when a young person can make a mistake like that and in the same game be able to put his head in?
Yeah, well, I make plenty of mistakes myself. So our guys are going to do that now and then. We don't want them to, and we're going to, you know, coach the heck out of them not to. But I really thought, you know, he brought himself together. You know, I was happy to see how he responded.
And then Missouri Williams didn't get a lot of snaps. I mean, what does it say about the development, the coaching job that they're able to do, that they can bring somebody in like that late, and obviously he makes the play.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, as a linebacker, and New Zealand came here, you know, as a Aztec, really, a safety. And just because of, you know, he's eaten, he's the lifting and all that stuff, so we moved him to linebacker. He really, in that kind of game, at the end of the game, is the kind of linebacker you want in the game, because he does have traits of a safety as a defensive back.
When you discuss the play of the offensive line from the first half to the second half and drawing the
Yeah, well, I think there was, I think they played better in the second half, okay? And I think the first drive in the first half, I thought they got themselves together and they were playing well. And then we kind of lost it there. And then I think at halftime, obviously, as coaches, you adjust a little bit in what you're doing. And then also, it's a time for mental reflections as a player to make sure they understand what they're doing.
Coach, I'm curious from a coach's perspective, you know, you mentioned Marcus Ratcliffe earlier, and, you know, guys like him and Noah Temlin, they're San Diego natives. How cool is it, you know, when you get to play for their hometown crowd?
Well, that's awesome, believe me, because we want to, you know, we want, I think we have 18 kids from San Diego on our roster. We want as many of those guys, number one, the high school football, and that is played here and coached here. I think is as good as anywhere. And so we want those type of players to be here. And it, you know, it gives their parents an opportunity to, and their loved ones to watch them. And so we're always going to try and recruit as many of those guys as we can.
In general, in addressing the defense, and you also do the same with like evaluating how they did the first half and the second half. Is it my imagination, or did they get a little stronger as the game wore on?
No, we tackled better in the second half. I mean, we tackled better, and we had a discussion at halftime regarding how we should tackle. And that, you know, is something that all the coaches, you know, from leveraging the ball on the different run schemes, fitting the run. I mean, we had a pretty good session of this is how you tackle at halftime. So we were better.
And Coach, you mentioned trying to tackle better at halftime, opening kickoff, Celestine blows some.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Nice to see that kind of response when you just open up.
Well, whenever you kick the ball off, you always have an opportunity to make a statement. You have an opportunity to make some big type of play. That was a big play. A lot of our guys enjoyed it. And at the end, there was also on the kickoff that went out of bounds, there was some nice physicalness going down the field. You could hear football pretty good.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, thank you.